Actually, wow. Okay, Providence was last month. Never mind.
Yeah.
I thought we were almost in August here. But yeah,
It's pretty close to August.
time flies when you're having fun. Trust me. Bruce Cowley playing against Drew Levin. Bruce does have that Grand Prix top 4 from Providence last month. And now we're going to see Jason Ford start off here with a Forest and an Elvish Mystic.
Yeah, Jason's solid green-white aggro deck. Elvish Mystic dies to Ring Flush on turn 1. Cowley being a black-white deck. We've seen quite a few of those today based on the synergy between Oromancer and Quack Sickness. Jason Ford has no 2-drop. Cowley doesn't have a 2-drop either. Both players representing planes in their second color. Jason Ford has a Griffin Sentinel on 3.
You see Cowley's deck here. He's 10 swap 7 planes. So he's not the mono black deck that we were getting pretty used to seeing today. But, you know, the cards you look for here are Corrupt or something like that. He doesn't really have that. So if he's black-white, you know, you kind of almost immediately think of, you know, does he have the Oromancers, the Quack Sicknesses, stuff like that. He has 1 Quack Sickness and 1 Oromancer, but it looks like he's just a black-white good stuff deck. Yeah. You see a Master of Diversion here played for him, but Jason Ford has quite the trump in the form of a 4/4 for 4 in Rumbling Baloth.
That card is big.
Oh, it's big.
Pacifism takes down the Baloth. Master of Diversions taps down the Griffin and gets in for 2. Life totals are 19 to Steven, 18 Jason Ford.
Oddly enough, no, not even a Blight caster here.
Jason flings another Baloth onto the battlefield.
Yeah.
Has he been attacking with the Griffin?
I feel like he's been nudging in.
Okay. Just want to double check.
And we will get those. We'll get those life totals updated for you guys in just a moment. Make sure they're accurate here before we do put them up. 5 mana, and that is more than a rare. It's a mythic rare.
It's a good one. We haven't seen that one today.
We have not seen Archangel of Thune yet today. So this is the 5 mana 3/4 life link. When it gains life, it does a Gavin Township impersonation. So we'll see if Ford has like a pacifism or a plummet, and he does. All right, so
Ford is very unexcited about his cards, throwing them on the table. Wanted to be at dinner hours ago.
Yeah, we'll get that thing on the table. We'll get another Griffin Sentinel on the table and pass the turn back. Is what Ford is going to do.
Now, there still is that trigger, so if he gains life, that's a glorious anthem.
Yep. Yeah, the trigger still does exist.
Does he have other ways to gain life in his deck, or are we looking at a dead card?
Yeah, I'm kind of looking for
Knights.
Yeah, Child Knight. I was trying to see if he has Solemn Offering in his main deck, but he has 2 in his sideboard. Does Stephen Cowley? So, not anything all that impressive. And Cowley's deck is
Mark of the Vampire?
Yeah, Mark of the Vampire is one. He does have, you know, his deck isn't anything insane. Oddly enough, card that we've seen be pretty bad most of the day in Lifebane Zombie, he actually does have.
Yeah,
now we've seen a Nightwing Shade.
First time it's been good.
Yeah, this is the first time.
This is like the showcase.
Yeah.
You got green white creatures with a Lifebane Zombie.
Now here's a Nightwing Shade here for Cowley. He's going to pass the turn back, and Rumbling Bale is going to come in along with these Griffin Sentinels. It looks like.
Yeah, this is Nightwing Shade can block one of the 1 power guys, but just a little short of pumping it up to kill 1.
No trick to play around for a single black man outside of Vile Rebirth.
Ring Flush in the graveyard.
Ring Flush, okay.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
Cowley does actually have 2 of those in his deck. Already used 1.
I think I'd gladly trade a 1/3 flyer for a Ring Flush.
Yeah, if you're Ford.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, also the Ring Flush. He's gonna attack with the Baloth anyways. Double block Ring Flush.
Sure. Looks like Cowley just has 1 card left in his hand too.
Yeah, he's been advancing the board, and Jason's been playing bigger creatures. So Nightwing Shade blocks. Jason Ford, Briarpack Alphas pumps it up.
Yeah.
Shade down.
So this is a really nice draw here for
Cowley
Ford.
down to 13. Yeah, it's 2 4/4 4. This was the key we were saying to the green decks. This is how you're supposed to win.
Yep. So Cowley's going to draw a card. He draws a Show of Valor. He's got Normancer in his hand. Also, it looks like he has a Corpse Hauler right now as well. And as good as Corpse Hauler has been over the course of the day, it cannot return a pacified creature.
Nope. And now he's a little under the gun and has to, maybe not have the time to, of course, haul back anything relevant in time to stabilize. Nightwing Shade is a card we've been talking about all day, but if you're being pressured this fast, this is why it wasn't the best the first time. Just kind of fell underneath the things that were attacking into it on turn 5 or 6 and needed something bigger to stabilize.
Again, can't forget, it is a 5 mana 2/2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. If you get to untap with it, it's fantastic, but it is a 5 mana 2/2.
Steve Cowley down to 8 life already. Jason Ford at 18 with 9 power active.
Gotta be feeling pretty good if you're Ford right now. I
Yeah.
don't even know what the last card in his hand is either. So let's see. Cowley gonna tap 3 mana. So now there's Oromancer.
Passing the turn, leaving up the Show of Valor. Lets this Oromancer take down the 4/4 on the attack.
Jason
Ford
draws.
draws his card.
Is that a Show of Valor
I
result?
think that was what he drew this turn.
Jason Ford thinking, shoving.
Yeah, one way.
Yeah.
It's the one-way highway. Everybody in there. I mean, it puts the onus on Cowley to do everything here. Make the
Absolutely.
proper blocks, read Ford for whatever trick he thinks he has. It puts all the pressure
I mean,
on Cowley.
even if Cowley had a trick of some kind, Jason Ford's still getting it for a significant amount of damage. Cowley's pretty close to dead.
All right, so let's see what the blocks are going to look like. Again, he's got a Show of Valor in his hand. He's going to have to use it wisely. If Ford has a Show of Valor in his hand, he can actually use it offensively.
Yes.
Push through some damage.
He's short. Giant Growth is lethal, and Show of Valor is 1 short. So there's a Show of Valor for Cowley. Jason Ford. Yeah, sure. My guy's dead. Whatever. You're at 3.
Let's see if he's got a follow-up. Yeah. Okay, so he has 2 guys. He's just gonna. I mean, those are 2 pretty
Yeah,
good
sure.
guys. Jeez. In the 3/3 Tusker and a Master Diversions. Goodness.
Do we have the out?
Does he have looking for planar cleansing?
Checking for planar cleansing. Nope. Cleans up his lands
Yep,
instead.
and that's gonna
Jason
be
Ford's
it.
sleeveless deck. 1-0.
Yeah, Jason Ford's going to win game number 1 over Stephen Cowley 1-0. Pretty easy that game. So we'll cut over to another one here. It might be Levin versus Cowley brother. It could be you versus Rose. Excuse me. Looks like actually the you versus Rose match. Yeah, they are done with game number 1. So we'll figure out who won there. And it is Kyle Rose.
up again.
Jason Ford does win game number 1. It looks like with any luck we'll be able to move over to Levin. He's scooping up his permanent. So we'll find out who won that game. And it looks like Drew did.
Ah.
So he tapped himself in the shoulder.
Looks like a signal.
You know what that means, all right? That means we could have actually cut away and asked the trivia question. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You want to run back what the trivia question was?
You know what? You can.
Yeah.
All right.
So the trivia question for 6 months of premium. Tweet at #SCG Premium for this one. We've been talking about a specific black common creature that's been dominating the skies all day. You know, Sarah Angel's been thrown under the bus in front of it at one point, I believe.
Yeah, actually did happen.
Yeah. So, what black common flyer has been shockingly awesome all day?
Yeah.
Wasn't awesome the first time around. Was just fine. This time, pretty good.
Tweet your answer. #SCG Premium will be giving it away after this match concludes. You see Rose's team behind right now. Certainly not over, but Kyle Rose up 1, Ford and Levin up 1 on their side. And again, right now, you, Ford, and Levin are the team. You know, they're the number 1 seed. They haven't lost a match, so you know they are quote the team to beat
Yeah.
in this tournament right now.
That's the reluctant heroes.
Yes, yes. One of them is reluctant. Mr. Ford. Jason's such a joker. It's so funny. I'm unhappy to be here. Yeah, we're 8-0. Who cares? Whatever.
Jarvis just sits in the corner and nods.
Yeah, Jarvis is sitting in the corner casting his corrupts.
Yeah. They claim that he could not win a game without casting that card, but Jarvis is, I believe he said he was X1 in the
Yeah,
Swiss.
I mean, Jarvis
personal record.
Jarvis has a good deck.
Yeah.
Hey, all kidding aside, I mean, he's a mono black deck that has 4 Quack Sickness, double Corrupt, Diabolic Tutor. It doesn't have like anything insane to find with the Tutor outside of Corrupt. Like he doesn't have a Nightmare or something like that. But yeah, he's got a
That
good
double
deck.
nightmare deck from earlier.
Yeah, that was a spicy meatball.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Because you see all players sideboarding here, not even consulting with each other. You know, sometimes you see teammates consult each other about how they want to sideboard for specific matchups, but the way the game's lined up, like all 3 players finished their games at the exact same time. So, you know, one player wasn't able to kind of look and watch another player on their team play and say, hey, you should sideboard this for that card, because all 3 matches basically ended simultaneously.
Yeah. So let's see, we have the B seat, which was the green-white aggro deck versus the black-white deck. In the C seat, we have Jarvis use a mono black deck against Kyle Rose's blue-red deck. Looks somewhat similar to card we were talking about not having seen, Scourge of Alkaz,
Yeah.
the Worshipping Dragon.
Yeah, we have not seen that yet. Actually, this Rose's deck actually looks quite good.
Yeah.
He's got 2 copies of Marauding Maulhorn, has a Mind Sparker, the Scourge of Valkas, that new dragon, 2 shocks, a Shivan Dragon. he's got
Chandra's Phoenix.
Yeah, he's got Chandra's Phoenix. So he's got his team's good red cards and some blue cards. 2 Claustrophobia, a fantastic removal spell, an Air Servant.
Yeah.
2 Sea Skies, an Opportunity, a Phantom Warrior. Whew.
You got Drew sitting opposite him at the table with the similar deck.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually kind of funny because like Drew's deck has a lot of rares in it, obviously, but like Kyle's deck, for not having like all the rares in the world, his deck like outside of like a rare heavy deck is really good. He's got 3 Sensory Deprivations, 3 Train Condors. I like his deck a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
It's fun to look at too. Again, when you're looking at how people evaluate cards, since this is a brand new limited format, a card that we've seen be very good over the course of this weekend is Disperse. 2 in Kyle's sideboard, none in his main deck.
No Cancel in the main deck either. That's a card I really like.
Wall of Frost also in Rose's sideboard.
Act of Treason. This isn't necessarily that card without the black cards. 3 on the board.
I always find it. I really do. I find it really interesting how people evaluate cards at the beginning of a format where, some people think that a card like Disperse isn't fantastic. Others just are boarding it in for specific matchups. You see in Rose's sideboard, he has a Wild Ricochet as well. It's not actually gonna be the best against Jarvis because he has like Corrupt,
Quack Sickness,
and Quack Sickness. You can't Quack Sickness is an enchantment. Can you ricochet that?
Let me double check. Can we pull that one up?
So I'm pretty sure it's spells only. I don't think you can ricochet ricochet Quack Sickness.
You can ricochet Corrupt. It's not bad. I guess it's just
like,
counter spell.
It's just like counter spell. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, you don't have swamps. Oh.
Yeah, and Wild Ricochet is instant or sorcery,
Okay.
so I mean, I wish it was good. Like, I think it would be awesome if like Kyle Rose was playing against Drew Levin, and they're in the blue-red mirror.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, and like Levin has a Volcanic Geyser in his deck.
Table A, we've got some Naya going on over here. Looks
Slivers.
Like slivers.
Yep.
Battle Sliver, Blur Sliver. Not actually that heavy on slivers, but splashing for Hive Stirrings nonetheless.
Okay.
Against Drew Levin's blue-red. I have all the rares, and I hope this is a good deck.
Yeah, well, it has been good so far. I mean, you take a look at Bruce Cowley's deck. He's playing against Levin right now. He's got 2 Volcanic Geysers. He's got a Molten Birth, an Ogre Battle Driver, 2 Lay the Land for a splash of the Hive Stirrings. Manalith Slivers also is going to help mitigate that splash. He has 2 Root Wall as a Predatory Sliver, so he's got some good cards here. But I mean,
he's got some plummets in the board for Drew.
Yeah, I mean, he might be outmatched just because Drew's deck is so powerful.
Yeah, I'll play Shivan Dragon Plummet. Okay, I'll play another Shivan Dragon.
We cut into the Rose Jarvis match. You see Rose coming across with a Chandra's Phoenix.
A card that's actually pretty problematic for Jarvis.
Yeah, just keeps coming back for more.
Yeah, especially because Jarvis doesn't have a Nightwing Shade to block it with.
And does he want to go? Does he want to Quag Sickness this? Does he think he can get
so bad?
Yeah. Does he think he can get a better use out of his Quag Sickness? But does he want to keep taking 2 points of damage using his life total as a resource? He doesn't. He's going to Sickness it and just pass the turn back.
Did he maybe board in Vile Reburst for that?
Depends on if he saw game 1. It's actually a really good question.
So it looks like we're Mind Sparking.
Yep.
Looks like Jarvis did a Liturgy of Blood. Probably just debating what his follow-up play to it is.
Yeah.
Just get this 3/2 out of the way.
Yeah, I think that win. I actually think that's worth killing too with Liturgy of Blood. Depending on what Jarvis's plan is, and he's gonna just play a Vampire Warlord and pass the turn back. So this is exposed to a card like Shock, which Rose has 2 copies of in his deck.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he didn't play earlier creatures implies that he doesn't have that many things to sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible. Yeah, he's just running out the 4/2, hoping to raise Giant Cockroach versus 3/2.
Now there's an Air Servant. He draws this card. He draws a Swamp for the turn.
You looking over his options?
Definitely a better Liturgy target than the.
Yeah, I mean they're actually both pretty good Liturgy targets, honestly.
So if you're Jarvis, you just shove with 4/2 first, see if he trades.
I think that's where you start.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just can't imagine that Rose would ever block here.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
you might as well test him.
yeah.
Spot check.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is that if Rose has something like an opportunity, making this attack, if he makes a block, he definitely wants to make that block.
Mm-hmm. Wow, he is going to block. He's going to trade Air Servant for the Vampire Warlord. Okay. And now Jarvis is going to follow that up with a Minotaur Abomination, so the 4/6 is in. I'm a little bit surprised to see Air Servant trade there. Depends on the contents of Rose's hand.
Yeah.
What he's trying to set up.
Train Condor.
Okay.
First play for the turn. No follow-up play. Now Jarvis has the biggest Minotaur.
Yep. Can't attack, of course, because due to the 4/6. Just has to pass the turn back.
Jarvis looking at his hand. Looks like he has Quag Sickness, Liturgy of Blood, and Corrupt were the cards that I think I've seen.
Whew, all good ones.
Stacked hand to go with this 4/6.
Funny how that 4/6 just holds down the fort. Really
Yes.
does. So big. There's your Liturgy.
Liturgy of Blood on the 3/2.
Does that resolve?
Negate.
Negate says no.
Jarvis gonna probably send in with his 4/6. Not blocking next turn.
No. In for 4 we go.
Yeah. There's not really like a haste card to punish you for that attack.
Yeah.
No lightning elementals. It's a card I miss.
Yeah, it's a card you normally see in base sets.
Jarvis, you dropping down.
I got a 10 now.
Yeah. Kyle Rose passing. Representing opportunity.
So you draws his card for the turn. He's at 10, Rose at 16. Minotaur Abomination, ready to give the beats.
Yeah. You know, 4/6, very respectable beatdowns.
I mean, he's just behind right now. I mean, currently he's on a 2-turn clock now. Of course, that means for that to work, he'd have to have nothing.
Right.
And we know he has more than nothing. He just figure out how he wants. We just have to figure out how he wants to use his cards right now.
Staring on the board, debating, do I want to corrupt? Do I want to see the corrupt first face? I like that line, personally. So Quag Sickness, the 3/2. Curry attacks.
No counterspell.
Interesting. I might have attacked first.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's opportunity.
Yeah.
That's what we thought he might have. So 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So let's see what Rose is going to add to his hand now. Opportunity is such a backbreaker.
Yeah.
Negate looks like Negate was one of the cards that he drew off of that as well. So
Really important. Are there 2 in his deck?
I'm going to see. Yeah, 2 in his sideboard. Board in both end. They're fantastic against Jarvis's deck. So there's Claustrophobia to take care of the 4/6.
Minotaurs in the box.
There's an island. 2, 3. Conveniently able to leave Negate up. Plays a Phantom Warrior. Passes the turn back.
Jarvis down to 8 life.
Yeah. 2-turn clock now. Things have really, really changed in this game. Where it looked like a game that you may have had in hand. And, the thing that really changed this game around, too, I think, is that, that trade with the Air Servant looks really good now.
Yeah, especially, if Jarvis had Liturgy there, the Air Servant would be down. Ooh, another Minotaur Abomination. So he would have gotten his Liturgy in around a counter.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been pretty important.
He tried to sneak through some damage in what looked like a situation where Rose wouldn't block, but he did.
To be fair, the Mind Sparker would stop that attack for a long time.
Sure.
So it's not 100% wrong. It's just like one of those things where you weren't sure why it happened, and now you know.
Yeah.
So Jarvis down to 4. It's going to fire off the Corrupt and going to get negated. That's going to be the end of this.
Yeah, I mean, that looks like that's probably going to be the outcome. There's your Corrupt, there's your Negate, and that is Kyle Rose winning that match over Jarvis Yu 2-0. So it is on Jason Ford and Drew Levin if they want to move on. Impressive win there by Kyle Rose.
Yeah. Very quick, very decisive against Jarvis Yu's solid mono black deck. He definitely had a matchup advantage, though.
Yeah.
He had all the good blue ones.
Rose's deck looks quite good.
Yeah.
For not having rares, of course. Like, his deck is quite powerful.
Yes.
For some reason I have a feeling that things might come down here to the Ford Cowley match again. We're going to move over to Levin and Cowley, but with how strong Levin's deck is, not to say Bruce Cowley can't win, but it sure is an uphill climb when you're playing against a deck that has that many rares. As we cut over and we see,
That's a good one.
You see Chase Memory Adept in play for Drew, along with a Wall of Frost and the Elemental token.
Yeah, from a young Pyromancer.
Mm-hmm.
Jace on 4 counters, having just hit the battlefield. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Jace on 2 turns to kill.
Tick-tock. Makes it one heck of a clock.
Cowley, there's nothing really in green and red to beat a Wall of Frost. Like, 07 is...
Yeah, it's huge.
Yes.
It's huge against green.
And even if he has the pump spell or the burn spell and runs the root wall in, that root wall doesn't get to attack the next turn.
It looks like he may have an enlarge in his hand right now.
That would take out the Jace. But Remember yes, enlarge, getting cast on the root wall, which is also getting pumped.
So it's going to turn into a 9-9.
11-11.
11-11, 7-4. Yeah, you're right. 11-11. Thank you. 9-9 static +2/+2 makes it 11-11. He's going to attack the Jace, and he has to block. So.
Well, he attacks with both, so
yeah.
the Jace is exactly dead.
Yeah.
So if he didn't have the Deadly Recluse, it has to be blocked, but it doesn't say by everything.
Yeah.
So Elemental Token throws itself under the bus.
4, 5, 4. Yep.
Yeah.
So Jace bites the dust. So we move right along here.
So what's our next rare?
Levin gonna fire out a Shivan Dragon.
Oh yeah, sure.
So now you have to answer this one, Bruce.
1 card left in hand. Yeah, I like that. We dealt half of the damage to his deck, so we're just gonna deal the rest to his face.
Yeah. You see Cowley draws another land. He has a forest and a mountain in his hand right now.
He does have the Deadly Recluse.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Deadly Recluse is here to make things a little problematic for Levin. See if he has a removal spell.
You know, if I don't see a removal spell in his hand, but if I was Levin, I may have just ran the Messenger Drake out there if you don't have the removal spell.
Let it trade off there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like he has a Frost Breath though. I don't know. Is that another Shivan Dragon?
It's a Pitchburn Devil.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought the same.
I got really excited for
Yeah,
a second.
I thought the same.
Only appropriate to play 2 Shivan Dragons against brothers.
So,
True, going over his options. I don't feel like Frost Breath is the right one just yet. I think we're gonna milk that one for a little more
I think
damage.
you can probably pick a better spot. I think,
Yeah.
you know, I think he's in a situation now. He's sitting at a high life total that he can actually just build a board here. Because the
Messenger
thing that
Drake?
he can do as he plays Messenger is he can just outclass Cowley's cards,
Yeah.
presumably.
So it looks like Steven evened it up at 1 apiece in the middle, and your prediction of going to 3 there and that being the deciding factor.
I think that's the big one. I really do.
Yeah.
Like Ford took down that first game pretty easily, but you know Stephen Cowley's deck is a lot better than it played in game number 1.
Yes.
There's another Deadly Recluse.
2 is still enough to Frost Breath.
Yep.
Levin draws.
And I'm with you. It might be. I think that was the second Shivan Dragon.
Okay. That would be a nice one.
I think. Yeah, he's gonna pull the trigger on Frostbreath now. Take care of those flyers. And does the math line up perfectly for him? I think it's like close to perfect.
It's over perfect.
Yeah, it's over perfect. Yeah,
It's 11
5,
and
6, 7,
11.
8. Yeah, 11, 11. Yep.
All of it. Fireball you.
So it's gonna be 8 from the dragon, 3 from the drake. Gonna push Cowley down to 9. Levin gonna pass the turn back. Frostbreath looking really good.
It works out so that if Drew draws a land, even if Cowley draws the removal spell, Levin shoves in, pumps once, and then just like shrugs and puts the second shift in.
Sure. 2 mana. That is
Mana Weft Sliver.
Mana Weft Sliver.
Not quite.
And I've watched Drew play before. I can't imagine a world where he doesn't go for it, especially drawing Disperse.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He's in for 3.
Especially if Cowley didn't kill his creature last turn.
He pumps 1. And that is going to do it. So Drew Levin is going to even it up for his team. He defeats Bruce Cowley 2-0. And now it is on Jason Ford and Stephen Cowley to see which one of these players is coming back tomorrow morning for a little booster draft.
This was a real fast match.
Yeah. It really was. I mean, we're looking at some competent players playing pretty quick Magic. And the games that we're watching they're pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
I feel like so far. I mean, Jason Ford absolutely crushed Stephen Cowley game 1. Levin destroyed Bruce Cowley that game. And then
Jarvis
Kyle
just got
Rose
buried the other games.
Yeah, Jarvis got absolutely buried by Kyle Rose. So the thing I'm really interested to see in this penultimate game is, how are the teammates going to help? Are they going to slide over? What's the interaction going to be?
Drew appears to be checking his cell phone.
Yeah, true. Drew, I think Jason's checking his cell phone. So, I'm interested to see, is there going to be a lot of help every single turn, which is something that we've seen a little bit earlier today, or not. So
Resleeving.
Okay, so yeah.
We've already seen some teammate help resleeving a deck.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Kyle, the ham heater, helping out. Pretty nice of him.
Bruce not helping his brother.
No,
Never.
no love lost. None.
Maybe just unsleeve and battle Jason Ford on his own terms.
Come down to Jason's level with the no sleeves?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, sure. Give it a shot. Why don't you?
Absolutely.
If you guys are just joining us, Cedric Phillips, Ari Lax here in the booth. Star City Games Live Open Series has made it to Richmond, Virginia. And been a good day so far. 9 rounds of Swiss, 174 teams, over 500 players came out to hang out with us today. And we've whittled it down to 4, and we've whittled it down
4
to
teams of Jason Ford's team.
Yeah.
It's Cowley team.
Yeah.
Yeah, back table was Lloyd Kurth.
Yeah, Pat Noden Walt against Murray, Visco, and Liao. As soon as we do have an update on the match, we'll certainly be bringing it to you. Find out how those two teams are doing.
Checking that right now.
Yeah, because one of them is going to be playing against the winner of this match.
I don't know.
I don't know who it favors. I mean, like Jason's deck is really, really good. Again, he does have 3 Barrier Pack Alphas. He has a really strong green-white deck, but Cowley's deck has all this synergy with the sliver cards and then some things outside of that.
I believe that was no, that was a black-white deck. No, other Cowley.
Oh, okay, my fault.
Strike that, reverse it. Yeah, so
yeah, you're right about
Jason
that.
Ford's also want to play this game, which is pretty important.
Yeah. Stephen Cowley has the black-white deck. I apologize for that misstep. He does have Lifebane Zombie, which is super good in this matchup. Also has, I mean, he's got some good cards. He's got Nightmare. He's got Senior Vampire. 2 copies of Ring Flesh. He's got 2 Child of Night, 2 Corpse Hauler, stuff like that. So, as we do have a winner, and it is going to be Matthew Murray, along with David Visco and Albert Lau. They're going to be playing tomorrow, the 3 seed.
Yeah.
So, if Cowley, and Rose win, Murray, Visco, and Lau will be on the play, or have the option to be on the play in the draft tomorrow. If Levin, Ford, and you win, Levin, Ford, and you will take that option.
Yeah. Just looking at some decks here. Got a nearly mono blue deck over here in the that one.
That is an actual dream.
Yeah, it's got a Death Gaze, a Cockatrice, and a Liturgy of Blood. That's it. Don't need anything else.
I played against a mono blue deck at the when I was gunslinging. Actually, Ruben Bressler ended up opening a mono blue deck in Two-Headed Giant. Came against me, countered 7 of my spells, and cast Opportunity.
We saw one of those earlier.
Yeah,
that's real nice.
That's my favorite deck. I'm gonna try to draft it.
We've got a green-white beatdown deck with. We haven't seen Devout Invocation all day. I've just heard terrible stories about people losing to that card.
I got to cast that card.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Seraph of the Sword, another one we haven't seen.
I got to cast that too.
Oh, is that one nice too?
My gunslinging pre-release deck was pretty good.
I can only imagine. Another Fire Shrieker, a card we've been kind of wondering about all day, but it seems like it served its purpose.
I'm really interested to see how that card's going to go in booster drafts, how many seal decks it's going to make, what effect it's going to have on the format.
So this is an interesting one. We've got another black deck on this team. They opted to split the black to get the Liturgy of Blood into the blue deck.
Okay. Blue deck needing some removal.
And this is sort of your Active Treason style deck.
Seen that deck a lot today.
Yeah.
A lot of sacrifice effects in the format. Active
Yeah,
Treason
especially
acting as a removal spell, kind of a burn spell as well.
Yeah. Another card we've seen a lot of is Shiv's Embrace. That card. I mean, it's basically our elemental, right?
Yeah, for all intents and purposes.
Back to this match. Green-white, black-white.
Ford being on the play is pretty big.
Yes.
And Ford has a 16-land deck. He's got some Elvish Mystics, all that good stuff.
Looks like a keepable hand for my seat.
6 and 7 for Cowley. Got Quag Sickness as the last card he picked up. Ford's going to start off with Elvish Mystic, the proxied one.
Okay.
The other one was damaged. You know how it wouldn't be damaged? If he played with sleeves, Jason.
Well, it's going to be off the table very soon.
Yeah. Its
Ring
flesh
flesh.
has been wrung.
Same as game 1.
16-land deck for Ford, too. So those Mystics are actually quite important for his deck. He does draw a Force for the turn, see if he has a Plains. He's just going to play Force and pass the turn back.
Yep. No Colonian Tusker.
Cowley draws a Plains for the turn, it looks like, so he's going to play a Swamp and just pass the turn back. So, Ford going to draw his card. He's going to play Master Diversions and pass the turn back.
Cowley draws. There's a Plains. Lifebane Zombie.
Oof.
Jason Ford picks it up and reads it.
Yeah, that one's worth reading.
Cracks a little smirk.
That one is worth reading. And,
oh
boy.
Jason
That's
is not having a fun day right
beating.
now. A 3-1 Intimidate, exiled.
Gets exiled. That is a beating.
Shove, tap your guy. Cowley dropping down to 18 from this Master Diversion.
It actually looks like Ford might be flooding. Passing the turn back.
He kept a reasonable 4-spell hand.
Yeah, I mean, that
3-spell hand.
Yeah, that Bright Pack Alpha was pretty integral to his game plan. That's what it looked like. That Lifebane Zombie really just messed this up, and it's basically unblockable too. So, in for 3 is that's going to come in. Going to knock Ford down to 17. Let's see what the follow-up is here for Cowley.
Wall of Swords?
It's a pretty good follow-up. It's going to get tapped, but...
Wall of Swords is pretty big in this format. Tap down.
Going to knock Cowley down to 16.
Jay Ford plays a 4-4 Baloth and a land.
Baloth's pretty good there. Big draw step.
Yeah.
Like, that thing is just huge. Cowley does have a Quack Sickness in hand, but he only has 2 Swamps in play right now. You see him full Plains forward. Now he pulls a Quack Sickness forward, so does he want to cash that in right now?
He also has a Death Gaze Basilisk that he could cash in.
2,
Or Cockatrice 2 block.
3.
Quack Sickness to
take care of the
Master.
Yep.
Okay, Wall of Swords is going to handle this Baloth for now. Jason Ford down to 14.
4 draws his card. That may have been enlarged. Maybe.
Shove it. Right.
Well, he's consulting. 11 minus 5 is 6. So he'd get in for 6 points of damage here and
Kill
clear
the
that Wall of
creature.
Swords out of the way. He doesn't have anything else to do. Yeah, so he's going to cast Enlarge.
They're debating if they want to lose to Celestial Flare, but I
Yeah.
think Jason's just like, yeah, we're dead to that card.
Yeah.
Anyways, no matter what we do.
I agree. And I agree with that assessment. Like, you're not going to be able to beat it at this point.
Have we seen someone cast that card today? I think I've seen
Once.
it once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shocked.
I'm a little surprised too,
Yeah.
especially because it's common. We haven't seen it like any of it.
We've seen so many Quack Sicknesses, just not a lot of Celestial Flares.
Swamp the draw for Cowley. Does have Nightwing Shade in his hand.
Yeah.
Also has a Cockatrice.
Yeah.
So Enlarge did a nice job of clearing out the Wall Swords, but there are some much bigger problems in Ford's future.
Jason's still on a clock from the zombie.
Mm-hmm.
Debating Sengir Vampire too.
Wow. Definitely
is-
some really
it's
nice
like- it's a
options.
grip.
Yeah.
It's a full grip.
This is a good place to start though. Get in for
Yeah.
3.
Looks like I think I'd play. I don't know what they've seen in Jason's deck, but I think you should play the Cockatrice. They
They're
do.
going to go with the Cockatrice and keep representing a double white spell. Ford's going to draw a card.
Well, they now know that he doesn't have it.
Mhm.
But the reason I play the Cockatrice is actually, I don't know if they've seen any of the Prey on the Weeks.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Hunt the Week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hunt the week. +1/+1. Kill a guy.
Jason Ford.
Drop
Druid of
pacifism. Okay.
Still in this game.
Runner. Nothing funner. In for 4.
Yeah.
Gonna put Cowley down to 6.
Yeah. So
Play a Plains.
yeah, I mean the Cockatrice trades if it fights, but if it gets pacified, I'm just gonna hang out.
Is Cowley gonna stop attacking with that Lifebane zombie yet?
No way.
No. I mean, I can't find a good reason to. He's gonna come across for 3.
Yeah.
Then knock 4 down to 8.
He's not dead on board at all. 4. Looks
Might
like
be the Shade.
guessing Sengir.
5. There's your 5th mana. There's your Senior Vampire. All right.
Representing the trick that we clearly don't have. Jason Ford draws. Does he want to fight? He looks happy.
Battle you. Yeah, can't block fast enough. There's your trade. And that's a pass the turn back. But he has to trade with Senua there.
Absolutely.
And Cowley draws a Doomblade for the turn, and that might seal this one for Cowley's team. That really might do it, because now he's going to be able to get to play that Nightshade post-combat. Does keep a black up this time for the Doomblade. 4 draws 3 lands and is going to concede the game. So the team of Kyle Rose, Stephen Cowley, and Bruce Cowley, the brothers, will be moving on tomorrow. A great run by Jarvis Yu, Jason Ford, and Drew Levin, but they come up a little bit short. The 4 seed, Rose, Cowley, and Cowley will be moving on tomorrow to face Murray, Visco, and Liao. 4 versus 3, so Murray, Visco, and Liao will be on the play tomorrow.
All of the matches.
Yes.